Good afternoon and welcome to the first edition of The World Today. It is a Southwest Network program of Radio Nigeria, Ibadan zonal station comprising news and feature. In the lineup, court rejects Nnamdi Kanu's request for transfer from Sokoto prison. Adamawa governor declares 24-hour curfew in local government over violence. On the foreign scene, Thailand launches air raids along Cambodia border after deadly clashes. Medical group accuses Sudanese paramilitary forces over sexual violence. Heart of the matter today is on responsibility and obedience for rule of law with regards to federal lands, while the feature is on sloth. My name is Stephen Agbaje. With me on the news is
Olushola Akinropo. You can also listen to us live www.radionigeriabano.gov.ng. Watch us live on Facebook at Premier FM 93.5. Security conscious reported a strange movement around you today. And now the news in detail. Federal High Court in Abuja has declined an application by detained IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu seeking to be moved from the Sokoto Correctional Center to a custodial facility within the Federal Capital Territory or neighboring Nasarawa State. Mr. Kanu, through the Legal Aid Council, had filed an ex parte application asking the court to compel the federal government or the Nigerian Correctional Center to transfer him to Kuje Custodial Center in Abuja or the Kefi facility in Nasarawa. He requested relocation of any detention center within the court's jurisdiction, including Suleja or Kefi, to enable him properly pursue his appeal. Justice James Omotosho, delivering a ruling, refused the request, holding that such an order cannot be granted without hearing from the federal government.
And Oyo State High Court, sitting in Ibadan, has struck out the name of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, from a suit challenging the conduct of the People's Democratic Party National Convention held on the 15th and 16th of November 2025. The suit was filed by a PDP member, Mr. Folan Adelabi, who questioned the conduct of the convention on the strength of an earlier interim court order. Counsel to INEC, Mr. O. Adeyemi, had argued that the electoral body, being a federal government agency, should not be subjected to the jurisdiction of the State High Court. Justice Ladiran Akintola upheld the preliminary objection and struck out INEC's name, but ruled that the matter would continue since there were still remedies sought against the other defendants. Justice Akintola then adjourned the case till January 26 next year. Other defendants include the People's Democratic Party as first defendant, its acting national chairman Umar Damagun as second defendant, and Adamawa State Governor Amadu Umaru Fintiri, who chaired the PDP Convention Organizing Committee, as third defendant. Reacting, the Oyo State PDP legal advisor, Mr. Dapo Durosharo, said the ruling will be reviewed by the party's legal team before taking further steps. Counsel to the claimant, Musibao Adetumbi, SAN, said the team would return on the next adjourned date to determine whether to take applications from parties seeking to join the suit.
President Tinubu commends Nigeria's armed forces for protecting democracy in Benin Republic. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has commended the gallantry of Nigerians military on Sunday for responding swiftly to the request of the government of Benin Republic to save its 35-year-old democracy from coup plotters who struck at dawn. Acting on two separate requests from the government of Benin Republic, President Tinubu first ordered Nigerian Air Force fighters jet to enter the country and take over the airspace to help dislodge the coup plotters from the national TV, a military camp where they had regrouped. The Republic of Benin, through its Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in a note verbal, requested immediate Nigerian air support in view of the urgency and seriousness of the situation and to safeguard the constitutional order, protect national institutions, and ensure security of the population.
Former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo has lauded the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, for her philanthropic gestures, women and child development initiatives across the nation. Chief Obasanjo made the commendation during a twin event of the grand finale of the 10th coronation anniversary of Oni and the installation of Senator Tinubu as Yeye Asiwaju Oodua, held at Enoa Square, Ile-Ife, Osun State. Our correspondent Mojisola Oladele brings details.
Former President, who said the honor on the First Lady was well-deserved, noted that she has impacted many lives positively.
We are actually having two celebrations today. We are celebrating the chieftaincy title of the First Lady, and we are also celebrating the 10th anniversary of your coronation. It's like yesterday.
Reflecting on the 10th coronation of the Honey, Chief Obasanjo, who said he knew the process which led to the emergence of Oba Ogunwusi 10 years ago, lauded him for fostering national unity, youth development, cultural preservation, and socio-economic empowerment throughout his 10-year reign. Also in his remark, the Sultan of Sokoto Alhaji Muhammad Abubakar congratulated the Oni on his 10th coronation anniversary and prayed Almighty Allah for him to reign successfully. In his goodwill message, the host governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, said his administration has been working closely with the Oni towards upgrading Ile-Ife cultural assets, the cradle of Yoruba land. Senator Adeleke assured that his administration would continue to give maximum support to the Oni of Ile-Ife and other traditional rulers across the state with a view to promoting Yoruba culture. In her speech of acceptance, the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, appreciated the honor accorded her and prayed God to restore the nation economically.
So for me, he was a young king, but a very wise one too.
Earlier in a brief remark, the Oni of Ile-Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, described Senator Oluremi Tinubu as a mother who has been a strong pillar for him since the inception on the throne.
She's a pillar for me. Ultimately, she's a pillar for our daddy.
The traditional and colorful event had in attendance distinguished personalities including Lagos State Governor Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Ogun State Governor Mr. Dapo Abiodun, Lagos State Assembly Speaker Mr. Mudashiru Obasa, Osun State Assembly Speaker Prince Adewale Egbedun, former Ogun State Governor Senator Ibikunle Amosun, and wife of former Oyo State Governor Mrs. Florence Ajimobi. Also present were wife of the Vice President Ajia Nana Shettima, wife of the former President Dame Patient Jonathan, members of the National Assembly wives, wives of honorable ministers, governors' wives, wives of service chiefs, Erelu Abiola Dosumu, Osun State Commissioners, and CEO Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabiri. Some traditional rulers present including the Olu of Warri, Ogame Atwase, Seun of Ogbomoso, Oba Gainde Olaoye, the Orogun of Ila, Oba Abdulwahab Oyedotun, the Orogun of Oke-Ila Orogun, Oba Adedokun Abolarin, among others. From Ile-Ife, Osun State, Mojisola Oladele, Radio Nigeria.
The Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has felicitated with the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi Ojaja II, on his 10th coronation anniversary, describing him as a royal figure who consistently exhibits deep interest in the promotion of Yoruba culture. Governor Adeleke, in a statement by his spokesperson, Malam Olawale Rashid, applauds Oba Adeyeye's humble courage and the pronounced commitment to the unity of the race. The governor commended the Oni for the demonstrated faith in national building as manifest in a series investment and businesses that empowers both the young and the old, and as well uplift communities through meaningful engagement, pointing out that the extraordinary reign of Oba Adeyeye in a decade has elevated the image of Ile-Ife and significantly fostered unity among the Yoruba people. Governor Adeleke noted that Oba Adeyeye's dedicated services to the people of Ife and the nation as a whole will always serve as a reminder that true leadership is the key to unlocking the potential of any society. He prays to God Almighty to give Oba Adeyeye the grace and sound health to effect his impactful leadership on Ife land, the Yoruba people, and Nigeria for a long time and for the benefit of the people and humanity as a whole.
The planned nationwide naked protest organized by federal government pensioners under the Contributory Pension Scheme and Defined Benefit Scheme, the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria (FRCN), has been suspended. The chairman of Ibadan branch of the FRCN Pensioners Association, Mr. Shola Ogunmola, stated this during an interview with Radio Nigeria. Mr. Ogunmola said the planned nationwide protest slated for today was suspended indefinitely due to earlier discussion between Pension Transition Arrangement Directorate (PTAD) and members of the Coalition of Federal Pensioners in Abuja. Mr. Ogunmola said the two bodies had made some promises which they believed would not relinquish on or try to play on the trust and belief of the aggressive pensioners.
The governor of Adamawa State, Alhaji Amadu Fintiri, has declared a 24-hour curfew in Lamode local government area following a fresh outbreak of communal violence. In a statement signed by the press secretary to the deputy governor, Hussaini Haman Gaddo, the governor instructed security agencies to swiftly deploy to affected area to restore peace and maintain order. According to the statement, Alhaji Fintiri directed security agencies to move to the areas threatened by the renewed communal clash to promptly restore peace and order.
The new Public Relations Officer of the Edo State Police Command, Assistant Superintendent of Police, Mrs. Eno Ukedem, has assumed office. This is sequel to a recent appointment to the position. A statement by the Administrative Officer in the Police Public Relations Unit of the Command, Mr. Emmanuel Nyokema, notes that until her appointment, Mrs. Ikodem served as Deputy PRO to two consecutive spokespersons. According to Mr. Nyokema, a substantive appointment followed approval of a posting by the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kaode Egbetokun. He said that the new spokesperson is the first female officer to be appointed PRO for the command and assumed office today.
The Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba Land, Gani Adams, has declared strong support for the establishment of state police, saying decentralized policing is urgently needed to confront Nigeria's worsening insecurity. He said this in an interview with Newsmen, noting that he totally agrees with the position of the Southern Governors Forum, which recently renewed its call for state police as part of restructuring the country's policing system. The leader of the Oodua People's Congress also commended Southwest governors for taking the lead on the issue.
The Nigeria Customs Service, Oyo Osun Area Command, has reaffirmed its commitment to revenue generation, trade facilitation, and anti-smuggling operations. The command also highlighted the importance of traditional leadership in fostering a secure and economically vibrant society. These were emphasized by the Customs Area Controller, Mr. Gambo Aliyu, during a courtesy visit to the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Ladoja, in his palace. A release signed by the command's public relations officer, Mr. Abdulmalik Akintola, indicated that the visit was aimed at strengthening the partnership between the Nigerian Customs Service and the traditional institution, recognizing the vital role traditional rulers play in sustaining peace and community cooperation. The command also acknowledged the support received from the Olubadan and the people of Ibadan, assuring that officers would remain respectful and professional in the discharge of their duties. Reacting, the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Rashidi Ladoja, urged the command to ensure border safety and protect the country against economic saboteurs. The visit concluded with Mr. Aliyu seeking the Olubadan's blessings and prayers for continuous wisdom, strength, and protection as the command serves the nation.
This is the World Today, the stories that made the headline. Court has rejected Nnamdi Kanu's request for transfer from Sokoto prison. Adamawa governor has declared 24-hour curfew in local government over violence. And still to come on the news, Thailand launches air raids along Cambodia border after deadly clashes. And medical group accuses Sudanese paramilitary forces over sexual violence.
Latino is still with us for the rest of the news. And to the foreign scene, Thailand's military has launched air attacks along its disputed border with Cambodia as the Southeast Asian neighbors traded blames for clashes that killed one Thai soldier and 4 Cambodian civilians. A statement by the spokesperson for the Thai military notes that Thailand deployed the aircraft to suppress Cambodian attacks after the death of a Thai soldier in Ubon Ratchathani province.
A prominent Sudanese doctors group has accused the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces of raping at least 19 women as they fled the city of El Fasher in Darfur. The group, in a statement, notes that it documented the rapes among women who had fled to the town of Al Daba in the neighboring northern state. It says 2 of the women were pregnant, adding that it was a violation of all international laws that criminalizes the use of women's bodies as a weapon of oppression. Sudan has been engulfed in civil war since April 2023, when fighting erupted between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary RSF.
In today's Heart of the Matter, the Deputy Director News and Current Affairs, FRCN Ibadan Zona Station, Adeomi Faniro, calls for responsibility and obedience for rule of law with regards to federal lands.
With the recent encroachment on the land of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, which houses the Radio Nigeria's Amuludu FM, Moniya Ibadan, the matter of unlawful interference with federal government's property has once again come under public scrutiny. This followed a demolition exercise carried out by the authorities of Akinyele local government of Oyo State, during which several business structures situated on an allotted portion of the land were pulled down. It is important to state that allocating portions of the land to petty traders was a deliberate initiative by the management of Radio Nigeria. This measure was taken to protect the land from trespassers and land speculators, an approach that for years has helped safeguard federal property from illegal and unchecked encroachment. Despite this, the demolition undertaken barely 2 months after the federal government issued a nationwide warning against the encroachment of its landed properties is not only uncalled for, but also an affront on the federal government. Business owners whose property were destroyed during the demolition and their sympathizers have condemned the action of Akinyele local government, describing it as a dangerous precedent, which, if left unchecked, could spread across other FRCN lands and installations as well as federal government properties throughout the country. These vast lands located across Oyo State and beyond hold significant economic potential for the federal government. The lands could be leased to developers or utilized for major housing schemes that would benefit federal civil servants and other Nigerians. Allowing encroachers to occupy or demolish them at will undermines this potential and weakens the rule of law. The latest controversy in Oyo State involving federal government properties and those of its agencies has once again brought this matter to the fore. About 2 months ago, the federal government, through the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Mr. Shuaib Bagore, issued a stern warning to the public against the purchase or encroachment on certain federal properties in the state. These include lands and facilities belonging to Radio Nigeria, the Africa Regional Center for Engineering Design and Manufacturing, ASADEM, the National Strategic Grain Reserve, and other federal establishments across Oyo State capital. The message from the federal government was unequivocal. These properties are not for sale, and any attempt by individuals or organizations to buy, sell, occupy, or claim ownership of them is illegal and could attract significant legal consequences. Legally and constitutionally, the federal government is on firm ground under the Land Use Act of 1978 and other relevant provisions which recognize the fact that all lands duly acquired by the federal government across FRC and properties in Basharun, Moniye and Alalubosa, as well as federal housing and agricultural estates in Ibadan and Shaki. There is still a visible federal presence in the form of buildings, transmission infrastructure, and administrative facilities. Thus, the issue is not ownership, but rather the management and utilization of these valuable national assets. The federal government must now reclaim, rehabilitate, and put these assets to productive use, as idle lands and abandoned facilities represent missed opportunities for jobs, income generation, and national development. Similarly, the Oyo State government is urged to apply restraint, diplomacy, and respect due process in its dealings with federal lands. Statements or actions that appear provocative can inflame intergovernmental tensions unnecessarily. The Commissioner for Lands and Housing, and indeed other state officials, must always be guided by the legal and constitutional realities governing land administration in Nigeria. The federal government should take inventory of its lands nationwide, secure them, and develop or lease out idle ones. State governments should support such efforts for the collective benefit of their citizens. The call, therefore, is for the federal government to act decisively, transforming its lands into engines of economic growth, employment creation, and national renewal. When government assets work for the people, the entire nation benefits.
That script on responsibility and obedience for rule of law with regards to federal lands was written by the Deputy Director, News and Current Affairs, FRC and Ibadan Zonal Station, Adeomi Faniro, and read by Feyi Shara Owomoyela.
Sloth is an animal with a specialized anatomy. For other features of the animal, let's join Emilia Ujimudia.
Sloths are slow-moving, tree-dwelling mammals known for their incredibly slow metabolism, long curved claws for hanging upside down, even sleeping or eating, and fur that hosts algae for camouflage, giving them a greenish tint. Key features include specialized anatomy for an arboreal life, unique extra neck vertebrae for head rotation, especially three-toed sloths, and a surprisingly strong grip, making them energy efficient but vulnerable on the ground, where they descend weakly to defecate. Sloths have long, sharp, hooked claws for gripping branches, acting as a natural locking mechanism. They vary by species, generally small, with two-toed sloths slightly larger than three-toed. They move exceptionally slow on land, but agile and excellent swimmers, using powerful forelimbs to pull themselves along. They live in tropical rainforests, spending almost their entire lives hanging on trees. They sleep many hours, often hanging upside down, with a tucked-in head. Sloths' greenish tint from algae helps them blend in with foliage. They descend about once a week to the forest floor to either urinate or defecate.
The script on sloth was written by Rashida Makinde and read by Emilia Ujimudia.
To end the news on the world today from the stable of Radio Nigeria, here again are the day's top stories. The Federal High Court in Abuja has declined an application by detained IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, seeking to be moved from the Sokoto Correctional Center to a custodial facility within the Federal Capital Territory or neighboring Nasarawa State. The governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Fintiri, has declared a 24-hour curfew in Lamude local government area following a fresh outbreak of communal violence. Thailand's military has launched air attacks along its disputed border with Cambodia as the Southeast Asian neighbors traded blame for clashes that killed one Thai soldier and 4 Cambodian civilians. And we also brought to you that a prominent Sudanese doctors group has accused the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces RSF of raping at least 19 women as they fled the city of El Fasher in Darfur.
That's it on the world today. Join us tomorrow for another edition of the program. Mudukbe Toba edited. My name is Olushola Akeropo. Thank you very much for being part of the news. And my colleague?
Stephen Agbaje, thanks for listening.